You know what? I'm out of here and I'm taking the cat. Where's the cat, Vincent?
I don't know, and I don't care. Just get out of our house. Here's your stupid cat. Be an unmarried old lady with only a cat that could ever love her.
You've heard him. We're over. Hi, I'm Alice, and I've always believed that life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. As they say, it's like trying to predict a cat's next move. It's a real challenge, just like what happened to me and my husband, Vincent. It all started when I woke up one morning with excitement bubbling inside me. It was our anniversary. Vincent and I had been through so much together, and I couldn't wait to celebrate this special day. I spent the whole week planning a surprise dinner at the park, the very place where we first met. I knew he would love it. The park had always held a special place in our hearts. It was where our love story began, where we shared our first picnic under the shade of a big oak tree, laughing and talking for hours. I wanted to recreate that magical moment, so I arranged for a cozy setup with fairy lights draped around the tree, illuminating the night with a soft glow. A picnic blanket with scattered rose petals would mark our spot, and I had packed our favorite dishes from our early days together. I arranged the setup with the final touches, but as hours ticked by and my anticipation grew, my husband Vincent was nowhere to be found. Hey, maybe he's planning a surprise for me too. I tried to reassure myself, but deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Finally, after what I felt like an eternity of waiting, I decided to call him. Hey, Vinny, where are you? I thought we were meeting at the park.
Oh, hey, Alice. I got caught up with some work stuff. I'm really sorry, babe.
Work stuff on our anniversary? My heart sank a little, but I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, but please hurry. I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. Walking around the park alone, I couldn't help but recall all the memories we had created in this very spot, the laughter, the love, and the promises we made to each other. Vincent and I met here by chance, looking for a break from the hectic pace of life. I had just moved into the neighborhood and I didn't know anyone. Feeling a bit lonely, I decided to take a walk in the park, and that's when I saw him. He was sitting alone on a bench, looking lost in thought. Our eyes met, and there was an instant connection. I mustered up the courage to approach him, and we struck up a conversation. We spent the entire afternoon talking about our dreams, our favorite books, and our shared love for adventure. As the sun set on that beautiful day, Vincent and I knew we had found something special in each other. From that day forward, the park became our haven, a place where we could escape from the world and be ourselves. Right now, seeing that Vincent is still nowhere to be found, I don't think I'll be able to recreate it for us. I started to worry because ever since he heard the news that his ex wife had moved back to our town, Vincent had been acting a bit strange. He seemed distant and on edge, and I couldn't help but wonder if it is the reason he isn't here with me today. But I quickly shook my head, dismissing the idea. Vincent would never do that. He swore he would never be like his father, who had cheated on his mother and broken her heart. I trusted him completely. I hope everything's okay. As I roamed the park, my eyes scanned the area, searching for any signs of him. Instead, I noticed a stray cat following me with curious eyes. I smiled and bent down to pet it gently. Hey there, little one, are you lost too? With a heavy heart, I sat down on the bench, still waiting for Vincent. The cat settled beside me as if offering some kind of comfort. Thanks, Furball. It was getting too dark and my hope began to fade away. Tears welled up in my eyes and I knew I couldn't just sit there any longer. He's not coming. Deciding to head home, I began walking. I realized that the stray cat was following closely behind me. It was as if the little creature sensed my emotion and wanted to offer some comfort. As I made my way back home, the stray cat remained by my side, a silent companion in my time of need. Well, at least I have you. I was grateful for the cat's company, even though my heart still ached from the disappointment of a missed anniversary celebration. It still wouldn't leave our porch, so I just decided to adopt the cat. You're too cute to ignore. I gently scooped it up and headed to the bathroom for a much needed bath. With the cat now cleaned up, I couldn't help but feel a growing attachment to it. In the back of my mind, I remembered the collar left behind by our previous cat who had sadly passed away a few months ago. It felt like fate that the collar was still there, waiting for a new furry friend to wear it. I carefully fastened the collar around the cat's neck. There, now you're part of the family, Snowy. The next morning, I woke up to a commotion at the door. Vincent hurriedly stepped inside, his hair and clothes all messed up as if he had been rushing and didn't want to be caught.
Hey, Alice.
He was out of breath. Why was he running? Perhaps he really wanted to jump on his bed and take a well-deserved rest? Vinny, you're home early. I was surprised to see him at this hour. I assumed he must have had a busy night at work, but I didn't want to pry.
Yeah, there was a sudden change in the schedule. I just needed to take care of something.
He replied, avoiding eye contact. I didn't get to read it too much because as he spoke, I noticed Snowy was feeling under the weather. He was throwing up and I felt concerned. Oh no! Snowy doesn't look so good. This is the stray cat I adopted. He was waiting with me at the park yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that park thing. I'll just take him to the vet instead since I don't have work today. It's a way of me making up to you for the missing anniversary dinner yesterday.
I don't like dwelling on the past and getting angry about it because I feel like it's a waste of energy since you can't change what happened anyway. So I nodded to his offer gratefully. Vincent carefully picked up Snowy and headed to the vet clinic. As he left, I couldn't help but feel a pang of worry for both the cat and Vincent. I hoped everything was okay and that the vet would be able to help Snowy feel better. While Vincent and Snowy were away, I took the opportunity to tidy up the house and get some work done. As the hours passed and Vincent and Snowy still hadn't returned from the vet, I began to grow increasingly worried. The house was too quiet without them, and my mind raced with thoughts of what might be taking so long. Unable to bear the uncertainty any longer, I decided to check up on them. Grabbing my phone, I called Vincent, but he didn't answer. Maybe he's still busy at the vet? I tried to reassure myself, but of course, the nagging feeling still remained. Then a memory flashed through my mind. Our previous cat Whiskers had a pet tracker on his collar, and since Snowy, the stray cat we adopted, is now wearing it, I could track his location as well. I checked it and the tracker signaled a place that was definitely not a vet clinic. My heart started to pound in my chest. I remembered how tired Vincent had looked earlier, and a thought crossed my mind. What if he accidentally let the cat out of his eyes and Snowy had run away? Or perhaps Snowy didn't want to be confined to home and longed to roam the streets again. I followed the tracker's signal, my hand trembling as I navigated through the unfamiliar streets. It led me to a house I had never been to before. Is this Snowy's real owner? With each step bringing me closer to the house in front of me, my mind was clouded with worry about what I was about to witness. As I peered through the window, my breath caught in my throat. There he was, my husband Vincent. But what shattered me the most was the sight of his ex-wife Bea standing right beside him with their lips locked in a passionate kiss. My world came crashing down. The betrayal was too much to bear, and I felt like I was being torn apart inside. A surge of anger replaced my initial shock, and I couldn't stand there silently anymore. My emotions overflowed, and I knocked loudly on the door. My voice was shaking, but determined. Vincent, Bia, open up! I shouted, even though I'm pretty sure their neighbors could hear me. I didn't mind the embarrassment because I just couldn't hide my frustration any longer. A few seconds later, the door swung open, revealing both Vincent and Bea looking stunned. The guilt was written all over their faces as they saw me standing there, tears streaming down my cheeks.
Alice, I can explain.
I cut him off by slapping him hard on the face. His face shifted from guilt to anger. Explain? What's there to explain? I trusted you, Vincent. I believed in us. I even gave you the benefit of the doubt when you didn't come to the anniversary dinner I prepared for you yesterday. You threw it all away, and for what? For her? Bea tried to interject, but her mere presence simply fueled my anger. I didn't let her speak. And you knew he was married, yet you got involved with him. You both should be ashamed of yourselves. As I stood there, the aftermath of my confrontation with Vincent and Bea unfolding, I knew there was no turning back. You know what? I'm out of here, and I'm taking the cat. Where's the cat, Vincent? He glared at me, still fuming with anger from the slap. He didn't answer my questions, so I asked again because I wanted to be out of there as soon as possible. Where is he, Vincent? Tell me now.
I don't know, and I don't care. Just get out of our house.
I called for the cat, hoping to find Snowy and take him away from this volatile situation. But Vincent's anger didn't waver, and he showed no concern for the innocent animal he had brought into this mess. As Snowy came out from his hiding place, he is still looking weak and fragile. It is obvious Vincent didn't even bother to take it to the vet and just went straight to his infidelity. Vincent harshly grabbed Snowy and in a fit of rage kicked the poor cat towards me. My heart sank as I saw how heartlessly he treated an innocent creature who had done nothing wrong.
Here's your stupid cat. Be an unmarried old lady with only a cat that could ever love her.
The cruel words cut deep, but I refused to let him see how much they hurt. My focus was on Snowy, who had now retreated to a corner, frightened by the outburst. Vincent's disregard for the cat's well-being shocked me, but what happened next left me horrified. Snowy lashed out in fear, biting Vincent's leg. Vincent responded with even more brutality. He squeezed and pulled the struggling cat tightly away from his leg. His anger was blinding him to the harm he was causing to Snowy. I rushed to intervene, trying to pry Vincent's grip away from Snowy, but it was too late. The distressed cat's claw found their target, and I watched in horror as Snowy leaped into Vincent's face, scratching his eyeball. The pain was evident in his cries, and he finally released the cat. I scooped up Snowy into my arms, holding him close, tears streaming down my face. You've hurt him. We're over. As I held Snowy close, I knew that our fate was sealed. My marriage was irreparably broken, and Vincent's action had revealed a side of him that I could never forget. With Snowy still in my arms, I walked away from the chaos and pain, leaving Vincent behind. I took Snowy to the vet immediately to get the care he needed. The poor cat was frightened and in pain, but I vowed to be there for him, just as he had been there for me in the park last night. Days passed and I learned the truth about Bea. She too was married, but she chose to work through the issues with her husband instead of continuing the affair with Vincent, leaving my ex-husband all alone. News about Vincent's eyes also reached me through mutual acquaintances. The damage caused by Snowy's scratch was severe, and his eyesight never fully recovered. I couldn't help but feel some sympathy for his condition, but I also knew that it was a consequence of his own actions. Now he literally and figuratively can't see his ex-wife or even other woman. In the aftermath of the incident with Snowy, I was determined to hold Vincent accountable for his cruelty towards the innocent animal. With the help of witnesses and the concerned neighbors who had seen the confrontation, I pursued legal action against him for animal cruelty. As I focused on taking care of Snowy and healing his wounds, I realized that he wasn't the only one who needed care and healing. I needed to take care of myself too, to find the strength to move on and rebuild my life without Vincent dragging me down. So I made the difficult decision to divorce Vincent. In the end, Vincent's karma came back to bite him, quite literally. The consequences of his action left him in the dark, unable to see the error of his ways. I like to think Snowy gave me one of his 9 lives, as he gave me a new start in life. Thank you, Snowy.